I'm a fan of both horror movies and kids' movies. Anyone that's been following this blog for a while should know that. This movie does a pretty good job of blending those two categories. That does create some difficulty for the filmmakers, though. There are wounds in this movie, but they don't gush blood. There are gruesome deaths, but they all occur off screen. The very things that are restricted to make it accessible to kids are the things that make it a tricky movie. The only thing I would criticize in this movie is that the ghost kids forgot that the golden bunny killed them, and that seems like the kind of thing that would stick with you. Everything else seemed to me to work really well, given the constraints discussed above. My daughter was able to tell me all the lore that the movie gets right, and all the lore that the movie gets wrong. She's been a Five Nights at Freddy's fan for basically as long as she can remember. When she was a baby, we had a friend whose daughter was into the games, and my daughter picked it up. I had to delay seeing this movie until Thanksgiving weekend because in the meantime, that friend and daughter had moved far enough away to make visiting an ordeal, so it needed a long weekend. But I wasn't going to let my daughter see the movie without the one that introduced her to the franchise. I'm glad I waited. Listening to them discuss the lore as the movie played was better than any movie could ever be. That meant we had to see it again after, though. My daughter missed some things because she was too busy discussing lore the first time. So her and I saw it alone after she saw it with a friend. I've had to do that a few times. The first time I watched the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes, I was so busy explaining why the books are told from Dr. Watson's point of view and similar story device changes that I had to watch the movie a second time to fully appreciate it. It makes my heart flutter to see my own children growing to a place where they can have fandoms of their own to explain to me.